Why, hello. Let's take a look at one of the most intriguing settings ever. Rapture, an underwater city founded in 1946, completely isolated from the rest of the world. Now, its Atlantis-esque setting does make it interesting, but what makes it worth exploring is its purpose for being built.
Rapture was built under the philosophy that man should be able to create, and whatever he achieves by his own efforts is entirely his own. In other words, everything a man invents within the walls of Rapture belongs to the man who invented it. It does not belong to the government, it does not belong to God, and it most certainly does not belong to another man. Rapture exists as a paradise for the greatest minds to invent with no constraints. As Andrew Ryan so put it, Rapture is a city where the artist would not fear the censor, where the scientist would not be bound by petty morality, where the great would not be constrained by the small. It is a philosophy where productive activity is man's noblest achievement. And the story of Bioshock is what happens when a society of brilliant minds whom all can create limitlessly is given an element with unlimited possibility. Adam, the source of Rapture's downfall. Bioshock is like a murder mystery where the victim is the setting. How exactly was Rapture killed? What were the lives like of the people who once lived here? Was each individual just as driven to create as the next? Within the context of this first installment, all we can really do is wonder. However, the brilliant thing about Bioshock is that it has answers all throughout. And we can observe how its philosophy affected every class of civilian. Let's take a look at the Medical Pavilion, home to Dr. Steinman's Aesthetic Ideals, which is a business that specializes in cosmetic surgery. Dr. Steinman is a prime example of the ramifications of being given a tool as powerful as Adam in a society where man is his own ethical accountability. In his audio diary titled Adam's Changes, he states that Adam provides the means to truly change anything. And thanks to Andrew Ryan, man is no longer held back by phony ethics. Adam allows for you to change your race, change your sex. Your body is yours to change and nobody else's. Dr. Steinman's ideals drastically expand from one audio diary to the next. As his mind deteriorates from extended use of Adam, he becomes more and more obsessed with perfection, because now human perfection is obtainable. With Adam, the flesh becomes clay. Therefore, what excuse does the surgeon have not to sculpt and sculpt and sculpt until the job is done? That Adam denies us any excuse for not being beautiful. And because beauty is now obtainable in every way imaginable, it is now a moral obligation, meaning that he feels it is his moral duty to make people beautiful by his own standards. And this is where it gets scary, because his standards develop. Dr. Steinman eventually grows bored of creating the same tired shapes on people's faces. He asks, wouldn't it be wonderful if I could do with a knife with what Picasso did with a brush? Patients are now seen as canvases in which he must uphold a strict artistic integrity. The idea that your body is yours to change and nobody else's is completely out of the window. Once you are under that surgical light head, you belong to Steinman. Bioshock tells multiple stories within one fascinating gameplay experience, and these side stories are handled with just as much care as the primary one. By adding in so many pieces of rich and believable exposition, it makes the city of Rapture feel as if it was once a thriving society. So, explore every corner, look upon every wall, and listen to each audio diary. Experience the aftermath of an advanced retro society that chose to create limitlessly with Adam, a substance that is only limited by your imagination. Which brings me to ask the question, if given the choice, would you choose Rapture? And if so, what would you create?
Hello there.